Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellen Red. I'm a Lyran Pleiadian starseed. I'm coming on with a message from the Lyran Collective, and it's in relation to the dangers of promoting hopium in the midst of the current state of affairs on Earth. We've talked about this before, for those of you that have been following me, that we are obviously in a very critical timeline on the Earth plane. And we are repeating in certain ways timelines from the fall of Lyra, as well as the fall of Mintaka, as well as the Orion Wars. Additionally, we're repeating timelines that we've experienced on Earth through other ascension portals that were open for the collective of humanity in past timelines, including the issues around the Essenes and how the Essenes had to go underground in order to bring forth wisdom keys to help and assist others in their ascension process. And so here we are again, repeating a timeline. And as a collective, this timeline has to be overcome. We have to shift out of it in order to restore the balance back on the Earth plane. And we are in dire turbulence at this time. So first, of course, and always the light wins in the end. We've seen that timeline. It's great. It's true. And that's good. And you should always have your focus on that. However, the guides really, really insist that I bring forth this message today to assist the collective to become more empowered in your beings now. It's a very critical time. And I will give you a couple of examples. I shared a video on TikTok. I've shared a lot of videos there. Sometimes I get, a little bit of likes. I shared one in terms of the Christ return, and it reached 100,000, 300,000 people, I believe. It went viral. And it's great that we look for salvation in certain ways, because it's true that you can pray and you can receive guidance from the spirit world in order to assist you in your life. But it is not great in any way, shape, or form. This is coming from the spirit world, to be fully reliant on a savior. You are really absolutely being called to step into your role on Earth. You've had a lot of your genetic material affected over timelines. And a lot of beings right now are not able to access some of their Akashic memories. And that includes the memory of why you're on the Earth plane right now, and what your ancient stories are, and what your ancient origins are, and what's really happening behind the scenes that your soul is aware of, but you've disconnected from. And so again, there's been a faulty system put in place to cause beings to feel like they're waiting to be saved, instead of us becoming empowered and grabbing the bull by the horns and taking action. It's the action step of manifestation that humanity is lacking right now. And it's the action step that has to be taken at this time if we're going to skip this timeline and be able to restore the Earth and restore the Amenti planetary grids. We are in dire straits in terms of having a lot of astral warring going on right now. And this is what the Pleiadians wanted me and the Lyrans wanted me to bring in today, is that hopium itself, when it's not truth, is equally as damning as negativity. It is impure, it's untrue, and it's misleading beings and causing the fall system and the phantom Earth to fall quicker, and many beings with it. And so please be here now. This is the message to you. Be here now. See what's happening now in your earth realm, because that's what you're going to be seeing and experiencing that you have to take action on. What's happening in the other worlds has already occurred. But that's not what's happening here. And what's happening in the earth plane, you need to look at and reflect on to figure out how to act, because the way that it works is with every action is a reaction. And in order for the highest timeline to be met and fulfilled as prophesied on earth, is that you as a being have to step into your role and do your part. And if you don't remember why you're here and you're waiting for some other savior to come and save you instead of stepping into your divine purpose on earth, then we're going to have a lot of trouble, because this mission requires all hands on deck. And so, again, this isn't about beating anybody up. It's just a way to tweak and remind you to come back into the center. Now, what can you do to actually take steps today as opposed to waiting for somebody? We need beings of the light now to create systems, AI systems and technologies that we can work with for light to escape the clutch and the grip that the archons have on us in terms of freedom of expression. We need beings of the light to pull their resources together and to create systems to take over the old, let it fall apart and build the new. Take those systems and build them for the light beings so that they're not run and controlled by the archons. We need light beings to come in and start financial systems for humanity. We need light beings to come in and start food supply systems for humanity. We need light beings to step into governmental roles for humanity, to take back the reins of our systems on earth that have been hijacked, all of them, every last one of them. Religious organizations, governments, technologies, big tech, school systems. It's all been hijacked, all of it, every last bit of it. And without humanity stepping up right now and taking action, we're going to have a very hard time. And selling hopium to people by telling them that they don't have to worry, everything's all done. I see this time and time. I just had a guy in my page today try to bypass spiritually when I said something to the effect of how we need to take action. We are here with hands. We are God's hands. We need to take action now. We can't afford to wait for some fairy out of the sky to come down and save us, regardless of how real the fairy realm is, regardless of how real the angelic realm is. We are here in the flesh. It's us that is in the flesh. This is God incarnate through you. That's who's going to save us, you and me. And we have to take our part in this journey. And we cannot do that by believing that everybody's in Gitmo when many of them are not, because somebody told you because they wanted to sell hopium to you, or by believing that Nisara Gasara is going to come, so you now have no accountability for your mortgage, and people are falling for these traps, and they're spending thousands of dollars to go to coaching programs, and they end up losing their home over it, and it just creates more karma. Stop selling people lies. And even if Nisara Gazara comes forward for us, that's great when that happens. It hasn't happened yet, and you still have to be accountable for where you are right now on the earth plane. Without that, you're discombobulated, disassociative, and open to entity attachment, which is what's going on with most of humanity right now. This isn't a doom and gloom, but this is a get your act together, get it together, get your energy all here now, because we're in a timeline where we're either going to make it or we're going to break it as a species, as a collective. And those that are ascending are going to go into the new earth. They're not going to be left here to deal with the fallen earth. The phantom earth is where many are going because they aren't here now. They aren't ascending. And they're not ascending because they're waiting for somebody else to be their hero instead of becoming the hero of their own story. That's the difference. And we're in a very, very critical timeline here where we absolutely are under astral warfare. Very much so. It's very, very, very much so in the astral realms that we are battling. And yes, in the very highest timeline, God wins, the light wins. In the highest timeline, absolutely. But sitting and just thinking about that and using that as an excuse not to step into your role on earth now is not the way. That's not how it's going to happen. The only way that it's going to happen on earth, the way that it has in heaven, is for us to bring it here, to make it happen through our beings. Not to wait for some other hero, not to sell lies to people, because selling hopium to people when it's not actually really true in this reality it's harming them. It's creating great harm. Now, are there people in Gitmo that are being persecuted? Sure, there are. But you got to be careful with all these people online and the things that they're selling you, because many of them are selling you garbage so that they can seem important to stay relevant in their own reality. And it has nothing to do with the true ascension path. And it's very dangerous for the souls. It does create black holes in the universe, and it also creates imbalances in the cosmic grid and also in the Kathara grid for Earth and for the souls. So this is the message that they wanted to bring forth, is that we have to get activated. We have to get into our roles now. We have to step up to what it is that we came to Earth to do. We have to take action. Take action. That's the message. Take action. False light, hopium, is actually harming humanity more. And it's not because we don't want you to focus on the fact that the light wins. Of course we do, because it's true. But again, the only way that that can happen is to pull it through your being and to run that frequency through yourself, which means that you have to get aligned. And alignment means that you're taking action. And if you're not taking action, you're not aligned. This message is coming from the higher dimensions. I bring this with purity, with love for all beings. I bring this with a message of importance that we cannot wait any longer, that we have to step into our roles, take action, share videos, come up with ways to do AI for the light, create systems now that can help to support the light beings. The way showers that are here have sacrificed everything. We have lost all of our accounts time and time again. We have given up everything earthly, sometimes including our loved ones, so that we could bring forward the light to humanity without anything holding us back. And the bringers of light right now, the architects of light that are here taking all of these risks, sacrificing everything, need your support. So even if all you can do is help support them, then do it, because they are risking everything to share the truth, in which has caused many, many, many souls to disappear in the history of humanity. So if all you can do is support them, then by all means do that. But we certainly have still a lot of work to do in this world. And I know this isn't the video that's going to go viral, because you know what goes viral is waiting for the hero, some other hero outside there to rescue you. And until we see videos like this going viral, then we know we're in good shape. And until then, we have much work to do, because most of humanity is disempowered and disembodied and does not remember their soul. And therefore, they have no idea why they're on this earth, and they have no idea what to do to assist in all that's going on. And everybody in the world right now knows that this world is in a lot of trouble at this time. A lot of trouble at this time. Now, we do have angelic beings here to support us. Of course we do. On earth and in the heavens. We do have galactics here guiding us. They're guiding us through people like me. Here, right now, I traveled to this planet from a different dimension, from a different reality, from a different galaxy, in order to bring forth these messages to humanity. We're here right now to assist you, but we need your help too. This is a very big job. This is a big job. There isn't just going to be one human or one being or one God that comes down and fixes everything for us. This is a work that requires all of us. God is working through all of us. So where is your part? What can you do to assist? But please, if you're selling hopium to people and it's not true, you are actually harming souls and you're creating karma for yourself and for them. You have no idea how many clients I've worked with over the years that I've watched suffer because they fell into some cult and they got sold on some programs that were not Christ and not true, because the being had the audacity to claim that they worked for the light when they have not been anointed. And it's damning to humanity very much. Do you really think that God makes a mistake on choosing the beings that God wants to speak for him, her? God doesn't make the mistakes there. It's humans that have the audacity to claim to be an ambassador for the light when they have not been anointed. And they're doing great harm. Many, many, many. And this has happened in timelines before. We're repeating the same stuff over and over and over. And although there are many light beings out there now, there are a handful of truly anointed beings, truly Christ collective beings that are here, Christed souls, assisting humanity. It's convoluted by the frauds, the false prophets, the entities, the dark archons. And by the way, speaking of which, many of your ascension teachers and starseed teachers are working for the negative ETs. Some of the biggest ones with the biggest audiences are working for the negative ETs. And people are falling for it in droves. I'm sorry, this is a little bit maybe of a depressing video, because what we're really dealing with is way more than most of humanity is really ready to accept. This is the timeline where the fallen phantom earth is falling away, and everybody that's participating in false light programs is going to fall with it into a lower reality than where you are now. Imagine that. And only the ones that are truly, truly ascending are going to New Earth. There's no other way. Your frequency have to be able to match the New Earth. And if it doesn't, because you're in false light, or you're falling for false light teachers, or you're waiting for somebody else to come save you, you're going the other way. There's no nice way to put it. I'm here with love in my heart for everyone. I'm here with the sword of truth. And sometimes it cuts because it has to. to clear a path for the distortions that are in our world. We're watching and witnessing our own loved ones be harmed by very dark beings. And of course, I'm not allowed to talk about anything that's really true on this platform either, where these videos are uploaded. I can only share to you in cryptic ways certain things because they have us bound until we take over our systems again. That's the truth. They have us bound until we take over our systems. So how can we take over our systems? Think about that. I want to end this message again, reminding you that in the highest dimensions, in the highest timeline, the light wins. But in order for that to happen, you have to match your energy with that timeline. And you can't match your energy with that timeline if you're not actualized, if you're not taking action in your life, if you're not assisting. Now, I'm not beating everybody up because I see a lot of beings out there that are actualized, that are taking steps, even if they're not fully awakened, they're taking steps, and it's great. It's fantastic. More than 50% of humanity now is at least aware, and that was huge, huge and good. So definitely a pat on the back in that regard, but certainly a warning to humanity to stop selling hopium and false truths. I've witnessed many come to me and claim to be ascended beings when they're not. I watch in the community and I see, because the spirit shows me. I know all ascended masters know who is and who isn't ascended. And I see who claims to be when they're not. I'm watching them. Many of us are, and reporting it back to the source. It's doing great harm to humanity in ways that most of you can't understand. Let's end this now, remembering that inside of you, inside of your DNA, is all memories and all truths. And doing things like being in the sun, exercising, fasting, meditating, praying, it's all helpful. So please do. But understand also that taking action is the key. And that's the message that the Lyran Palladian Collective want me to bring through today, is that it's time for action. That's why a lot of you have been being pushed through things in the last few months, because they're pushing us to get us on the other side of this timeline. It's very important. I hope that this message reaches who it's meant for. I hope that you still keep peace in your heart always, because the light does win, but we are the light, and we have to take action in order for that to happen. That's the message of the day. I'll see you guys next time. Namaste.